Hey everyone, Apprentice Alex here. Been a while since I've done a video in this setting, in this style, and today's the day to change that. I actually want to start doing more of this kind of content, and yeah, try to get a little snappier, a little better in video editing and everything. Been doing a lot of work at the makerspace, and while they have no problem with me filming there, they it is a busy public place, and it can be tough to get any kind of real scripting of content done. I've done some stuff outside. I like doing that, but it's winter in New Hampshire right now, which makes that a little difficult at times. Anyway, apologies out of the way. Thought I'd give a quick, well, maybe not so quick, we'll see what happens, a quick year in review for 2024 for me, and thinking about what's to come in 2025. So, this year has been pretty crazy. A lot of ups, some downs, admittedly, but a lot of really amazing experiences. I got over to the UK for the first time. I competed at Fight Camp. Matt Easton of Schola Gladiatoria fame's HEMA event there. I did very well. I came fourth place in the Open, met some terrific people, made some great connections. But the really special part of that trip was getting to explore and some of the historic collections, handle some amazing artifacts, see some sites that I've seen that I've seen online now in person. Again, getting to handle some stuff from antiquity. Just overall a tremendous experience. Um, the other thing that was big, obviously, Blade Show happened again this year. Had a terrific time there. Saw some great people. Um, just kept trucking along. The UK trip, obviously the biggest highlight of the year, but it doesn't mean there weren't other highlights as well. Like I mentioned, Blade Show before. Didn't do as much SCA stuff this year. No particular plan on that front, other than the opportunity to go to Fight Camp did directly interfere with my ability to go to Pennsic, which is unfortunate. Unfortunately, a lot of the SCA requires a lot of day travel, and I just part of it is just I haven't had the money, and I've had to be more selective about what events I go to and all of that. Anyway, I really think this year showed a lot of huge progress. Finished some awesome commissions. Had a few very good vending events along the way. I'm hard at work for the next one, a market day at Burka. And I guess the other big advancement in my life is that I've officially started my next athletic journey, as it were. Which I thought when I was saying this that of course the sport that makes the most sense for me to get more involved in is boohurt, and I still would like to take a serious stab, pun intended, at doing boohurt at some point. But the reality is that the equipment costs are still just out of my reach. Um, I do now have some equipment that I can start maybe prototyping some of my own armor, but that is still a long way off. Eventually, hopefully, I have the money aside. Like, if the choices are start doing some boohurt or go over to the UK again, I'll go over to the UK again in a heartbeat. What a tremendous experience, wonderful people. I definitely found that I get along terrifically with Scottish people that I met. What a wonderful time. Had just made new friends. Hopefully, some people that I will stay in touch with throughout the years. Just again, tremendous experience. Can't wait to get back across the pond. Really looking forward to anything that might bring in the future. Um, but this new athletic journey for me is that in April I intend to compete in my first ever strongman competition. Ah! Yeah, this looks like the strongest guy in the area, right? No, seriously, it's a lightweight class. I'll be competing in the lightweight class, under 90 kilo, under 181 pounds. That's going to be where I'm going. It's going to be a first timers competition that I intend to compete in. So, like, the right stepping into the novice door, I've looked at the events. The events and the weights are all posted already. And it's stuff that come April, I don't think that'll be necessarily in contention to win, but I think that I'll be able to put on a decent show and make it through the event. I've been training hard at that for the past few months. I've started training in October. I'm a big fan of strongman as a sport. A lot of reasons for that. But at the moment, I'll just say that this has been the motivation for me to get into the gym and get some real strength training done, which of course there's advantages in my smithing work that uh, that helps, and also getting stronger and fitter certainly helps with the sword sports that I'm already competing in and plan to continue competing in. I definitely would like to do some more tournament participation this in 2025. Um, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, can't have be doing stretching myself too thin with everything, and might have to make some choices about what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm not going to set any kind of goal for what I'm going to do. There was a time with the SCA where I was, making it to every event I possibly could. Obviously, there's some real key ones that I'd like to hit this year. Definitely want to get back to Pennsic. That should, if you know the SCA at all, that should take no explanation. I would like to take another run at Crown. That would be something that I'd like to do. Definitely. I missed a few of my favorite. I missed a few of my favorite SCA events this year because talking about having a kind of a year of highs and lows. One of the big lows was my car died right before I was supposed to leave for the UK. It took some time before I was able to get another vehicle. As such, I ended up missing some of my favorite SCA events on the SCA calendar. But for me, the big ones are I'd like to make it to Pennsic. I'd like to make another Crown run. Balfour's Challenge is also always a tremendous time. I'd definitely like to get to Balfour's Challenge. Market Day at Burka, obviously, that's one of my big vending events, so I'm always going to be there. That's just that one's kind of a given. Definitely looking forward to that this year. And yeah, that's a really and then the other big ones are Kings and Queens Rattan Champs, as well as Brennan's Ducal Challenge. The Ducal Challenge is probably my favorite event on the SCA calendar. I absolutely adore that event, and I'm really looking forward to going back there. I'm really bummed that I missed that one. That's perhaps even more so than Pennsic because I was doing something so cool instead of Pennsic. Missing Brennan and Kalen's Ducal Challenge was probably the one the thing that I had to miss that stung the most for me. But yeah, anyway, I'm super excited about things to come. There are obviously tough things that are going on in the world right now, but there's things that I'm also looking forward to, and hopefully 2025 brings a lot of awesome stuff to the table. I definitely got things that I'm looking forward to, and keep an eye on the channel. I'm going to try to get, I always say this, I'm going to try to get more consistent about doing more content. I was trying to get a podcast going all about sword stuff recently. I'm thinking about doing a kind of webcast, pseudo podcast just on my own that might be a little easier. Maybe it will have some guests on the way, but it won't be short form in terms of like 1 minute portrait videos, but it'll be a little shorter form compared to the regular podcast format, where unless I've got a guest that's taking it for long periods of time, or doing live stuff, maybe answering people's questions, that might be longer form. But I think more than anything, I have this idea. I don't know if it's going to be specifically on this channel or if I'm going to start an auxiliary channel for it. Depends what people say. Maybe I have this idea for doing a show of swords and strength, because I think there's a lot to be said for the intersection between wanting to be a swordsman and legendary mythical feats of strength, as well as history. And I mentioned earlier that as a fan of strongman, there's a number of reasons that I really enjoy it. One of the big reasons that I enjoy strongman as a fan is that really it's a well, like I said, it's man, I want to keep this, real with you guys so you can kind of see who I am, but sometimes it is very frustrating with my ADHD brain losing track of things. Anyway, but strongman. The strongman is much like HEMA or Booherd or SCA, is a sport that's kind of steeped in history and legend. The idea of the strongest person, legendary feats of strength that some are just transferred verbatim. The Husafell carry, for instance, is an example of a strongman event, or the Dinny Stone walk. But then you've got, the Hercules hold and this and that, and basically they take these legendary feats, some of which are truly legendary, mythical style feats where we don't necessarily know exactly when or how they happened, but they were told about in stories and not chronicled specifically. And then there's also the feats of in later period, like the strongman circus performers. I'm also a big fan of what I've heard referred to as sideshow strongman lifts. This is stuff like tearing decks of cards, bending rebar. You might have tearing the tops of soda cans off. You might have seen me perform some of these on this channel. Something that I find fascinating. Secret of a lot of those is in grip strength, which is very important to the modern sport of strongman as well. So, looking forward to being able to perform some really cool feats of strength. And like I said, training's going well. I think the one event that I really haven't been able to train for is the yoke carry, and that's but I'm going to be going down to a friend of mine that works out at a strongman gym. He has some pro strongmen there, and going to work on some stuff there. I don't have a log to train on. There's a log press in this show, so I'm been just doing overhead push press with barbells. So I'm going to be going down and training on a log for the first time, making sure that my overhead strength with the various barbells that I have access to does actually translate over to my overhead strength in terms of log press. There's some technical differences there, but at the end of the day, weight is weight, and I feel pretty confident I'm at least going to be able to get one rep on that log come competition day, as long as I get some of that technique down. So, yeah, I think that's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. I know I can hit the first deadlift weight for the infinite deadlift ladder, so I won't zero out that. Anyway, I'll probably do a whole video on strength, strongman, all that stuff. Maybe that will be a lead-in to a separate channel that becomes the stuff specifically to talk about, the more competitive side of things, or maybe I'll just keep it on this channel. We'll see how people respond to this video, and if anybody has strong feelings of whether or not I should discuss strongman stuff on here, feel free to leave a comment down below. Anyway, thank you very much. It's been, like I said, one heck of a year, and hopefully I'll get to doing some more content for everybody come 2025, which is now, as this is the end of the first day of 2025 as I'm recording this. Will probably be the second day by the time it goes live. Thank you everybody for watching, and hopefully onwards and upwards for 2025. Thank you everyone.